Hi everyone, this is the third session on Occupational Health Science in Public Health. I'm Associate Professor Victor Ho from the Center of Occupational and Environmental Health, UM. Last two sessions we discussed on basis of occupational health, work on health and health on work, principle of identification and control of occupational hazard, and in this session we'll describe or discuss on brief on work-related diseases. So what is basis of occupational health? Basically is look at work on health and health on work. What is principle of identification and control of occupational hazard? Basically it looks at hazard identification, risk assessment and risk control. When a worker is exposed to hazard at the workplace, he or she may develop work-related disease. Let's say by looking at diseases at the workplace, it could be classified as general disease. Basically is the disease that you have because you are just one of the going to work. It can be communicable disease or non-communicable disease like diarrhea diseases, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, cardiovascular disease. And let's look at what are work-related disease. Work-related disease can be classified as work-aggravated disease or occupational disease. So communicable and non-communicable disease, these are general disease that occur to everyone in a community and is not dependent on work or job status of an individual. For example, diarrhea diseases. A person can develop diarrhea diseases from consumption of contaminated food from home. A person with diabetes or heart condition like hypertension are still capable of working. Work-aggravated disease. The term work-aggravated disease are diseases that workers already have and is made worse by being at work or having that particular job. For example, a person with asthma, the condition could be worsened as a result of being exposed to hazardous substance at the workplace. For example, dust. Let's look at chronology of event. This is symptom, started work, symptom worsen. What do you call this? Second part is occupational disease. Occupational disease are diseases that arise from exposure to hazardous substance at workplace. And these hazardous substances only are present in the workplace. For example, lead exposure will lead to lead poisoning. Let's think, what workplace contains lead? And what is the sign of acute lead poisoning? Chronology of event, you started work, sign and symptom. This is, what is this? And it can be this. Also, you have job 1, job 2, job 3, and then sign and symptom only occur. So which job actually have the hazard that can cause the person to have sign and symptom or occupational disease? What's the difference between work-aggravated and occupational disease? Asthma can be both classified as work-aggravated and occupational disease. Basically, it depends on the situation. If the worker is not known asthmatic and develop asthma due to hazardous substance that is known to cause or induce asthma, then it's called occupational asthma. For example, if a worker or a nurse who is working in a hospital who does not have asthma to start with, but is exposed to antiseptic solution like glutaldehyde, then she developed asthma, that is called occupational asthma. But for a worker who already have asthma, which is under control, through taking medication, he or she develop asthma for exposure to the same substance, then it's known as work-aggravated disease. The same example, a nurse with asthma, under control, exposed to Sidex or glutaldehyde, develop asthma, then it's called work-aggravated asthma. Basically, why do we need to differentiate between work-aggravated disease and occupational disease? Because in some countries, people with occupational disease receive compensation, either from the insurance company or the state, but not for work-aggravated disease. The differentiation is mainly for compensation purpose. The management of work-aggravated and occupational disease is similar. For example, the example I gave just now, which is a nurse having asthma and exposed to glutaldehyde. So what is it? From the previous lecture, elimination is the best thing to use. So you use a different type of antiseptic instead of using glutaldehyde. The management of work-related disease include management of the disease and management at the workplace. Management of the disease is the same as any management that you, as a medical doctor, do. Right? It's provide appropriate medication or surgical treatment to the affected worker. And the part that we do is looking at management at the workplace. So from the previous lecture, we say that hazard identification, risk assessment, and control. That's first thing we do. Second thing we do is we identify other workers who are affected and treat the other workers also. Thank you for your attention.